Flashback, the changing face of the Brisbane River. Our city centre was once a bustling port until facilities were relocated closer to Moreton Bay. Once the domain of wharfies, now giant robots rule.
And rivers flow on wide, for here on your side we laugh and cry, we live, we die, for this is Brisbane town.
Brisbane was born on the banks of the river. The town grew from the dock out. Wharves and warehouses lined the city reaches of the river. You'll recognise the Treasury building there, but look above at Southbank, lined with warehouses, a ship docked at the old Victoria Bridge. In the century that followed, Queensland's rural riches were hauled to the city. Wool, wheat, sugar and beef loaded by cranes and hard yakka.
I started on the wharf, we were getting around about $30 a week because we had to carry wheat, flour, quarter beef, freezer, cartons of freezer beef.
From Southbank through the city to Newstead, New Farm and down to Hamilton, the river was a thriving and chaotic commercial waterway. Brisbane's fleet of tugboats maintained control, but in the late 1960s, the age of containerisation dawned.
Just more ships, and they were bigger ships. The river became quite crowded and wharf space became more scarce, so the way to go was downriver.
In the 1970s, the Bjelke-Petersen government announced a rebirth of the port at the mouth of the Brisbane River.
How is it going to affect shipping times?
In 12 hours, a container ship can be turned round in this berth, as against the same amount of cargo possibly in 3 or 4 days.
Mountains of sand were pumped onto Bishop Island, creating what we now know as the Port of Brisbane. Exactly 10 years ago this weekend, it was the scene of the notorious waterfront dispute. The port today is ruled not by union might, but robots. They use a combination of satellite and radar to move containers around the dock, 24 hours a day in all weather with absolute precision.
The system was developed here at the Port of Brisbane to handle our exports, but it's been so successful it could become an export itself, with other ports looking to buy the technology.
And still the Port of Brisbane keeps expanding further out into Moreton Bay. 2,000 people now work here.
We're the second largest capital city ports in terms of, and the third largest in terms of containers, but we're the fastest growing capital city port.
And all along the city's waterway, where wharves and warehouses once stood, the Brisbane River is now enjoying its second life.
We laugh and pray, for this our Brisbane town.
Sport now.